first episode 30, we were starting from the game because we had to restart because of a weird thing that happened. So,
oh, thing. Okay.
the man reaches out for the girl that went to sleep. I yell. I don't consider the personal danger nor what could happen to me. The man stops. Behind him stands Shinji, surprised at the sudden intruder. The man smiles ominously. My shaking throat speaks up before I can think, but there is no way that man will stop. I couldn't even tell him to stop. The man pulls something out of the girl with a smile, a red, dripping object that looks like a fruit. The thing in the man's hand is the girl's heart. My mind burns down.
Gilgamesh?
Fear of being killed mixes with my desire to kill him.
観客がいたか。俺の勇姿を見たいという気持ちはわかるが。
With the girl's heart in his right hand.
身の程をわきまえろ。王に命じるとは何事か。雑種
He shoots off one of his numerous noble phantasms at me. The terrace falls. The man's noble phantasm destroys the wall of the castle. I don't move at all. I don't care about the rubble falling down. I don't have time to run, and I have no intention of running. I don't care even if a big piece of debris scratches against my back. I can't think of looking away from that guy now.
ほう。何かと思えば、セイバーのマスターとはな。
His red eyes react to my enmity. I'm going crazy. I'll die in the next instant. There's no way I'm not afraid of that, but my body refuses to run away and keeps screaming to the feet of the enemy. The girl's corpse.
Shirou is himself again. Good to see.
The girl's corpse keeps ordering me not to forgive that man. It's only natural for me to go crazy. My mind churns with conflicting impulses towards life and death.
戦う意志はあるようだが、話にならん。肝心のセイバーがいないのでは。
A sword appears in his left hand. The sword is mercilessly raised and should come down to kill Emiya Shirou. I keep glaring at the enemy. I can't even think about showing my back to him.
ちょっと待てよ。そいつさ、
Oh my
僕の
fucking
知り合いなん
god.
だよね。
Is Shinji gonna save us? The man's
Shinji
sword
to the res-
stops.
Shinji to the rescue.
Shinji, who was watching from the other side of the wall, walks to the center of the hall.
よう。久しぶりだな、エミヤ。
久しぶりだな、
こんなところで
Emiya.
会うとは思わなかったんでね。少しばかり驚いたよ。
The man does not move. There's about 10 meters between us. Would I be able to get near him? Even Berserker could not close this distance.
なんだ。ブルって声も出ないのか？まあ、気持ちはわからないでもないよ。僕もライダーの時はそうだった。ああ、そうだったそうだった。いや、あの時は見逃してもらって助かったよ、エミヤ。
It's like kindness begets kindness, huh? There's nothing I can use as a weapon, but I don't care. My head is clear right now. I don't feel any uneasiness about projecting his swords right now.
僕がこっちを見ろって言ってるんだ。
Shut the fuck up, Shinji.
There's a Gilgamesh in front of him, and he wants she wants him to look at himself. Okay.
I slightly shift my gaze in his direction. I look at Shinji while keeping the man in my view.
そうだよ。わかってるじゃんか。今ここで一番誰が偉いのかってことがさ。
I gasp. It's not because of what he said. It's unexpected that he's saying so from the bottom of his heart.
そういうことだ。ならわかってるよな、エミヤ。お前、このままじゃ確
There's a
実に死ぬ
problem
よ。
in the
Yeah, there's a big wackiness in the audio right now.
How out of place?
The audio is weird.
What do you mean?
There's static.
Like in
It
my
felt like
audio?
No, in the game.
No, in the audio of the
Oh,
game.
that must be
Shinji-
the live stream, because to me it's coming out just fine.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
good.
How out of place? Why say something that's so obvious?
紹介が遅れたが、そいつは僕の新しいサ
Oh,
ーバン
it's
トで
normal
ね。
no.
ライダーなんかよりすごいだろ。
Shinji puts his hand on the man's shoulder, and with a delighted face,
命乞いしろよ、エミヤ。少しは考えてやってもいいぜ。
he says something unimaginable.
断る。
Daga, kotoaru.
Kotaru.
I do not
So die.
refuse. I do not hesitate. I answer right away without showing any signs of even considering it.
そうかよ。それじゃあ死んじゃえよ。
Yeah. There's a
Shinji
Gilgamesh. So
Shinji
we
jumps
can
back.
do it.
The man, still with a cold expression, finally brings his sword's due.
そこまでよ。そこのサーバント、
Oh,
指一本でも動かせばマ
shit.
スターの命は保証しないわ。
And the man stops his sword once again. Tosaka to the rescue. Everyone looks up.
Again.
Everyone down in the hall turns his attention to the girl in the terrace. Tosaka's hand is aimed at Shinji. Even though Shinji is not a Magus, he should know what that means. Tosaka's serious. If the man brings down his sword, she will kill Shinji as retaliation.
遠坂。
I think this doesn't make much sense because Gilgamesh has
They don't know
a
that.
lot of. Okay.
You know what? You
But
know what would be fun?
Gilgamesh can react fast enough to block that to anything he wants.
Oh, yeah.
You know something that would be funny right now? If
Huh.
Shirou just seriously just looked at Shinji and said, "Hey, you don't know my new girlfriend. You don't know my new girlfriend."
To say the truth, I think that Gilgamesh could literally kill Emiya and block the attack of Rin at the same time.
Sure, he could. But then again, he is one to enjoy the theatrics. So,
Yeah,
you know.
I know it.
She doesn't answer, but just keeps her aim on Shinji.
なんだよ、お前。
Oh, shut the fuck
本気
up.
で僕を撃
Oh
とうっ
my
てのか。
god, I fucking
この
hate
人殺し。
Shinji, man.
殺したのは
You
そっちのせいでし
murderer.
ょ。もっとも、どうであれこっちの気は変わらないわ。シンジ、殺す権利と殺される権利は同じよ。そんなこと、人間なら魔術師じゃなくても本能で理解なさい。
Shinji retreats
Something
weakly,
tells me
being
that-
stared
something-
down by Tosaka.
Something tells me that Gilgamesh is just fine with that.
Oh, he's totally fine with it. He fucking hates Shinji. To be fair, he's literally babysitting Shinji. I would assume that he's like rooting for Shinji to get shot. To be honest.
Yeah. I don't see that threat going anywhere.
And the man just watches it in delight. He looks at Tosaka. Then, I think there was a strange shaking for an instant.
なるほど。俺の打倒はできぬと悟り、マスターを狙ったか。交渉を持ちかけたのは、マスターを殺したところで、俺が止まらぬと判断したからだな。娘。
Ah.
そうよ。シンジが死んだくらいじゃ、あんたは止まりそうに
Oh
な
my
い。
god.
けど、
Damn,
この
the
状
audio.
Two
況
great
を考え
minds
て
think
みると
alike.
今ならシンジを救えるもの。あんただってサーバントなら、マスターを失うのは痛手のはずよ。
なるほどなるほど。
But actually,
なかなかの起点だ。そこの雑種を助けたいのならば、その交
is
渉
he
しかあ
calling
り
him
えまい。
scum? Let me bring this down a little bit. So loud. I think you can bring up the voices a bit. His sword disappears. Oh, wait. His sword disappears. He turns his back to me as if he's lost interest.
お前、何のつもりだ。誰が止めろって言ったんだよ。
This might be too loud. Audio problems, new computer, guys. I'm sorry.
No problem.
いや、
fuck.
状況が変わったぞシンジ。
Oh my
彼女
god!
ならば器としては文句
Oh
なしだ。
fuck. Shinji stops breathing.
Oh no.
His face is filled with irritation, suddenly turns into a dirty smile.
そうか。いや、嬉しいよ、遠坂。
そう
Wait a minute. A
一応私
perfect
もほっとしたわ
vessel.
あんた
Oh
と
no.
でも付き合いはない
Wait
か
a
ら
minute.
ね
Are they going to do
どこ
to
かで死なれ
Rin
てたら気落
what
ちするわ
they did to Ilya last part?
Maybe.
They are
Laughing,
going to.
Shinji
Now they
claps his
released
hands.
it.
It's so strange. Shinji shows no fear even though Tosaka can end his life. It seems an overwhelming joy is numbing his emotions.
まあいい。それよりどうだ、遠坂。エミヤなんてほっといてさ、僕たちと手を組まないか？
Rough.
僕たち
そうだよ。
Yes.
君もキャスター
That's
が
right,
力を
you should
蓄え
know
てい
that
るのは知ってるだろ？竜道寺は今回の祭壇なんだ。そこに陣取られて魔力を蓄えられてるのね。
Shinji says this with both his hands raised. That's an obvious fact. If I have to add, it seems Shinji doesn't know cast to obtain Saber and Archer.
な、わかるだろ？一人でやっても勝ち目は薄い
This
んだ。
makes me think. This makes me have two thoughts. One, Shinji and Gilgamesh were not in the church for the last days, and they have not kept any contact with
Kotomine is
Hirei.
supposedly dead, right? Because
Yeah, but at the same time,
Caster raided
he's
the
not
church.
dead for a long. But at the same time, he speaks of Caster still being in the Ryudo temple.
Oh yeah, exactly.
It seems like those two are not in touch with what happened recently.
Yeah,
Mm,
they're
which
out of
makes
the loop.
Which makes the question: what the heck were they doing?
It does also beg the question, now that Ilya is conclusively very dead, what the fuck are we going to do to get Saber back?
バ
Ah,
ーサー
is
カーのマスタ
Lancer
ーは倒
available?
したけど、
Ah,
これだけじゃ足りない。遠坂、君がいればキャスターたちにも負けないものが作れるよ。
Shinji invites her with confidence. To that,
お断りよシンジあんたが誰とつながっているかは知らないけどね私から見ても
Oh,
いいように
shit.
使われているだけのやつについていく道理はないわ
She is
Tosaka-
smart.
yeah, Tosaka refuses him without twitching a brow.
わからない腐れ縁から忠告するけどもうちょっと周りを観察する知力を養いなさい
Oh, shit.
マトシンジをマスターだと思っているのはあんた一人だけよあんたには魔術師としての才能がないって
Shinji's face stiffens up. The harsh words must have caused him to forget that his life is in Tosaka's hands.
やれギルガメッシュ。エミヤも遠坂も皆殺しだ。
Shinji orders his servant.
It's probable that Gilgamesh could
あ
really
れって
kill
言っ
both
てる
of
だ
them.
ろ。お前なら僕がやられる
That's the
前にやるなん
problem.
て簡単じゃないか。
He can do it.
Oh no.
いや残念だが時間切れだ。これ
Oh, sorry. The man
I
shows
will
Shinji,
rot.
who is walking up to him in anger, what is in his right hand. Sorry. If we take any more time, this is what was supposed to be said there. Sorry. A red piece of meat. It is the still throbbing heart he ripped out of the girl. Shinji grits his teeth in vexation.
くそ後悔するなよ遠坂。もう仲間にしてやらないからな。
Shinji runs toward the gate. The other one stays, and after watching his master's disgraceful behavior,
だそうだ。良い友人を持ったな。
sure do. With those delighted words, he leaves the room filled with rubble. And we walk to her. the center of the hall. With the sunlight coming in from the ceiling, the girl is sleeping amongst the rubble. Her eyes will never open again. Looking closely, the girl is not white at all. She has red all over her, and she looks like nothing like she did before.
シローのせいじゃないわ。分かってるでしょ。私たちじゃこの子を助けることなんてできなかった。
I know. I've been taught that there are people I can save, and people I cannot. I know it'll put my life in danger if I try to do something beyond my capabilities. But still, I still wanted to save her. I don't want a child dying in front of me. I don't want anyone dying in front of me. It is more painful and scary than anything else not to be able to save someone asking for help. There's no way I can apologize, and I don't know her well enough to apologize to her. This girl is unrelated to Emiya Shirou. I know that without having to be told, so why are these eyes crying?
どうして
父さんが
どうしてよ。あいつの前に出れば殺されるって分かっていたでしょ。なのにどうしてイリアスフィールを助けようとしたの。結果はどうあれ、
Because
イリア
he's
スフィールが
Shirou.
敵だった。なのにどうしてこの子の死にそこまでしてやれるのよ。
Is it an inquiry? Tosaka's eyes are
ど
serious.
うしても何もない。助けたいと思ったから止めただけだ。
Because he's a good person and has good ideas.
Of
There's no other way to
course.
explain it.
Yeah.
After glaring at me,
そう。前から異常だと思ってたけど、今ので確信したわ。シロ、あなたの生き方はひどくいびつよ。
she tries to open a lid that I've kept closed for
い
long.
びつだって。
そうよ。自分より他人のが大切なんて生き方は間違ってる。いい？他人を助けるのは自分が愛されたいからだなんて一般論を口にしてるんじゃないわ。そんな偽善とは別のところで人間は自分を一番にしなくちゃいけないの。そりゃ他人が一番のやつだっている。けどそもそも自分っていうのは計りにかけられない別格なのよ。言うなれば計りそのものでしょ。なのにあんたはその計りを壊してどうでもいい他人を助けようとする。ええ、それでも構わない。あんたが自分のないただ生きてるだけの人間ならそれもいい。けどシロは自分があるじゃない。そんな確固たる自意識があるくせに自分をないがしろにするなんてできないのよ。そんなことを続けてたらいつか必ず壊れるから。
You'll eventually break down.
No way.
It's a paradox to a certain degree.
I can't break down. I'm doing this so that I won't break down. I'm trying to save people that I could not save so that I can hold my head high.
いいえ、もう十分に壊れてるわ、あなた。だから言ってよ。10年前に何があったかは知らない。けど、あんたがおかしくなってるのはそれが原因なんでしょうから。
Osaka looks like she's crying. Why does she have to make a face like that? It's as if she knows I'll live a thankless life, so she's trying to stop me.
学校の時もそうだった。あなたはあれだけの死体を見てとんでもなく冷静だった。私でさえ死体と勘違いしたっていうのに、一別しただけでみんなが生きてるって読み取っていた。それがずっと変だって引っかかってた。魔術師としてろくな教育を受けていないくせに、殺し屋になってもすぐに自分を落ち着かせていた。死体を前にして憤ることはあっても、死体そのものに嫌悪を抱いてはいなかった。それはきっとあなたにとって人の死は見慣れたものだったからよ。それだけのものを10年前に見たっていうことでしょ。
You're used to seeing them. Well, it is true that it wasn't my first time seeing a corpse. The students at school, Ryder who got her neck twisted off, and even this girl sleeping in front of me right now. Sleeping, huh? I think they've died a natural death compared to that time. But she's wrong. The fire 10 years ago saved Emiya Shirou. That cannot be the main reason why Tosaka is criticizing me now.
違う、遠坂。そんなことはない。俺はた
I
だ
feel really bad for like when you look at this progression of sentences that just came out of his mind and his mouth.
I find
The
it
fire 10 years
interesting
ago saved Emiya Shirou. 10 years ago, I was saved, that's all.
Goddamn. I find it interesting, Tosaka's comment about how he's already gone insane.
Oh, definitely.
Because at the same time, it doesn't feel like it.
Well, it doesn't feel like it because we're seeing the story in his perspective, but you can see from the way he reacts to things.
Yeah,
His
yes, but
thought
it
process
feels like
is completely out of whack.
it feels like she's talking about something deeper than just he'll throw himself on the jaws of danger.
Oh, yeah.
Feels like a little bit more than that.
Oh, no, yeah, definitely. I mean, at the end of the day, she is attacking that self-destructiveness of him. She can see, right, that it's not just that he's living on the brink to save people, is that he's actively looking to die in a way. No.
Yep.
助けられた？あなた、10年前の火事の時に助けられたのね。それがエミヤキリツグだったの。
あ
How does she know his dead name?
ただそれだけだ。
I think he talked about it before, didn't he? Or she might have known him for a different reason. Because her dad was also in the war.
Ah.
My heart aches when I answer. My body is telling me that it's a lie.
じゃ
You
あ、
see, he admits it.
他
It
には何
wasn't
かな
that
かった？
Kiritsugu was saved.
ずっと後悔してい
That
るようなこ
Kiritsugu
とと
saved
か
him.
助けられる代償にエミ
Yes.
ヤキリツグに取られたものとかなかったの？
Something he took as compensation for saving you. It's the imposter syndrome, right?
そんなのあるもんか。
Or the survivor's
It's not
guilt.
as it isn't something that Kiritsugu took, but it is something that Shirou suffered.
Oh yeah, he feels like he's in error. He shouldn't have been the one who survived. That was the whole thing at the end of the fate route, right? So he kind of feels
Exactly.
guilty that Kiritsugu took from him. He feels like he's indebted to the world, maybe, or to Kiritsugu somehow. The ideal of saving people isn't really something that he believes in. Maybe he just took that from Kiritsugu in a search for having some sort of purpose, but as we've seen, it's kind of become distorted over time into this kind of obsessive catalyst for looking for self-destruction.
Yes. He's paying his debt.
I had nothing to give. I saw many corpses. I died at that time, and I was reborn. I do not have any regrets. My eyes lost hatred there. My hands lost anger there. My legs lost hope there. My self lost itself there. So why? Why do I have the self-consciousness that Tosaka speaks of?
それは
Have accepted death. I knew I was going to die. Even if my body was saved in that situation, there's no way my mind could have been saved as well. At that time, I was empty, and I just admired something sacred. I remember now. No, I didn't even put it into my memory, so I didn't realize until now that it's really what saved me.
シロ、やっぱり何か契約でもさせられたの？
違う。取られたものなんて何もない。俺はただもらっただけだ。
I admire that Tosaka doesn't
Tosaka
assume
is
that it's
not getting
Shiro's
it.
fault. Yeah. She wants to
Tosaka
believe
is-
so hard that he's some sort of... I mean, he is a victim in this, but... I don't know.
She thinks she's trying to throw the blame into Kiritsugu, but no, it isn't.
No, it's definitely
If
something...
anything,
Although it
If
kind of
anything,
is.
Kiritsugu did it.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, if anything, Kiritsugu did everything right.
Yeah, no,
He
definitely.
saved Shirou. He taught Shirou to not be how he thought not to be this hero who saves everyone and then die. Wait a minute. Okay, that is not correct.
No, he
Okay,
said
now
many
I'm
times that
starting.
he shouldn't. That he shouldn't.
Yes, but at the same time, he only died when Shirou said that he would follow in his steps, right?
Well, that is true. But he was also
Shirou!
cursed to die, so
Anyway,
that might have been a.
moving along.
I don't know.
Moving along.
A world like hell. In the place where everyone but me died, I was saved. Nobody saved me, and I wasn't able to save anybody. And at the very end, he granted something that I thought was a
覚
miracle.
えてる。俺を覗き込む目とか、その淵で思ったんだ。自分が助かったことじゃなくて、助けてくれる奴がいることは、なんて。
It's so wonderful, and it's such a miraculous thing. That's why I admired it. I had nothing. There was nothing remaining in me. I admired the first thing that came into my sight.
だから、俺、
That's the only thing I had. That's the only emotion I felt after I was saved. I was happy. I cried. That's all I could think about. So that's all the emotion I could create.
ああ、きっと。
It's distorted for me to put priority on others before me. There's something seriously wrong with the procedure.
救われたのは俺だけだった。その時に思ったんだ。この次があるのなら、助けられなかった人の代わりに、全ての人を助けなくちゃいけないんだって。
それがおかしいって言ってるのよ。いい？助かったんならまず自分を大事にしろっていうの。死んじゃった人たちには悪いけど、あんただけが助かったっていうのはただの偶然よ。
And she's hitting it on the head, and she's bringing it back to the Kiritsugu talk. He phrases this, he demonstrates this as if he's following on Kiritsugu's footsteps. But the thing that Kiritsugu was asking for was for him to live.
Yes, but at the same time, there is that weird thing of he only dies after Shirou says he'll take his mantle. That is
Well,
the only thing in my mind that doesn't fit into
I don't
the
think
whole.
I don't know if that was necessarily tied. He was already dying. He had sit out to die, I think. And it just so happened that was what
The
happened.
timing feels too convenient.
I just want to say one thing.
Yep.
I love this construction because Emiya Shirou became empty and he had nothing. So Emiya Kiritsugu appeared in his life and gave him an ideal.
Yes.
Yeah,
but at the
Kiritsugu
same time,
he wanted to show another thing to Emiya. He just wanted him to live, but I think Emiya got that ideal more because of redemption. He thinks he has a debt in the
Yeah,
past.
no, that's what I mean. Shirou, the thing that's curious about this is that while Shirou desperately wants to be right in treating himself like this, so he tries to make it look like that's what Kiritsugu wanted, and that he's just following in his dad's footsteps. When in reality, Kiritsugu, just like Olly was talking about, did everything he could so that Shirou would not be
Yes.
involved in any of this, because he really just
Yes.
wanted his son to survive. That's why he saved him in the first place.
Because
Shirou,
he realized how bad everything was. He realized that everything in the Magi world ends in destruction.
Shirou misunderstands the concept of salvation, because he thinks that the saving is important, not what happens after being saved. Kiritsugu is the exemplifying of this concept that you have to save something and care for it after, so that the salvation was worth something. Shirou just wants to go out there and get people out of trouble without any regard for what that actually means for any people involved. There's no emotional value in it. It's self-aggrandizing.
Just like he said, Emiya
It's
Shirou.
not even self-aggrandizing, but it feels
It's empty.
suicidal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
It feels to a certain degree too paradoxical.
It
I
makes
can't
no sense.
exactly as yes,
It makes no sense. And he talks about
because
it
at the
like it's a
same
duty all the time. I have to do things. I have to save them. I have to.
hey,
yes,
it's like Emiya Shirou said. I was saved in that day because he died that day. And
That's the
I
thing
think
that kind of strikes me.
this is how I got it. He died
Yeah.
that day. His emotion, everything died that day, and he reborn, like he said.
Yeah.
So for him, this is another Emiya Shirou.
Yeah. I don't know. The thing that really strikes me about Shirou, that really exemplifies his kind of mental state, is that all these years, after Kiritsugu's dead, all he doesn't often talk about the time he spent with Kiritsugu, right? He doesn't remember all of the care. He doesn't like reminisce about the good times and how his dad was doing what he could so that he could live a good life in spite of his trauma. He always remembers being saved. That's the value. It's not the getting raised part, right? It's not going to school, watching movies with dad. It's trying to get dad to teach me magic, even though he doesn't want to. It's talking about being a superhero just like my dad. It's like that time my dad took me out of the rubble.
But you have to put in the Emiya Shirou situation. You have to think that
Oh, I'm not
he was a
saying that
kid
he's
and he
wrong
was
to
like
think this
thinking.
way.
Okay.
It's very understandable that he would, because trauma is very serious and it fucks people up really bad, which is what partly what Fate Stay Night is about, the effects of trauma on the psyche. But it's definitely very unhealthy. He's not normal. Shirou isn't normal, is the takeaway. It's understandable why he is this way, but it's very clear that Tosaka's right.
yes. But at the same time, she's talking about something that I find it curious because at the same time that Shiro does this out of a suicidal impulse, he at the same time, as you said, makes it a aggrandizing towards himself, and he doesn't want to seek any reward. It feels like a lot of contradictions.
Yeah, that's the point. It's a big kind of glass, or I suppose like a castle of cards that are very carefully balanced. But when you really stress test it, it's just not going to hold it well because it is all a big cope. He constructed this narrative, as trauma victims often do, to justify his self-destructive actions. But really, if you put it under any examination, it just doesn't make sense at all from a logical perspective why he would act this way.
Yes. Exactly.
ならその幸運をかみしめなさい。それだけひどい目にあったんだから、あとは楽しくやんなきゃ嘘でしょ。
Tosaka is seriously angry. Yeah, that makes me happy. I finally realize now because Tosaka is that kind of person. The question I've been wondering about all by myself. I wanted to be a superhero and I always tried to help others. I knew there was something wrong with the method, but I did not understand what. But it's so clear now. It's because of this person that is seriously angry for my sake.
何よ、これだけ言ってもまだわからないわけ？頭くるわね。そんなにわからずやだって言うなら、あんたとのコンビも。
いや、わかってる。言っただろ。と、
なら
けど、やっぱり忠告は聞けない。確かに、俺は何か間違えている。けど、だって、誰かのためになりたいっていう思いが間違いなはずがないんだからな。
So, I answer her with as much gratitude as I can possibly put in. And the hope, which is different from last time in this route, in terms of development for Shirou, is that he can remain ultimately with the same goal of helping people, but from a more healthy perspective. By getting him to recognize that what he's doing is coming from a weird place, he can actually start believing in what he's doing. He can actually try to look for meaning in that. And I think that's kind of an interesting take, but we'll keep on going from here.
まったく。そんな顔されたら何も言えないじゃない。
Aw, how cute.
Maybe it got awkward as Tosaka turns and walks away. And then
まあ仕方ないか。こうなったらもう私が何とかしてあげるわよ。
she sighs as she says this. One sec. I have to pause. Right. The sun is setting. We return to the hall when the sky turns red. The corpse of the girl is not on the mountain of rubble. We just buried her in the courtyard.
Oh,
I don't know.
wait a minute. So Ilya is dead.
Oh yeah, definitely. Her heart is ripped out.
Oh, because you said, oh, the girl's sleeping. I was like, no, please don't tell me that she's somehow going to live.
No, I highlighted that because that was a really weird way of putting it when the chick is in front of you, like torn apart with a fucking gigantic hole in your chest. It's kind of displaying
Okay.
how Shiro's way of coping with death is really weird. That he would just say that she's sleeping.
But wait a minute. Is that weird translation?
No,
Or
I think that's correct. It wasn't.
Alright, so that
This
is
translation, yeah, this translation doesn't have a lot of straight errors. It has some, but it doesn't have many. It just has weird wording sometimes, or the prose isn't very, elegant. But
Okay. I get
I don't
it.
know. I don't know if it's normal for servants, but the black giant turned into sand. We put the sand in the same coffin as the girl.
さて、これからどうするかだけど、考えはある？
考え中だ。事態がまた悪い方に転んだからな。少し整理しないとやってられない。
By the way,
そう
wait a
ね。
minute. Where are
最
the
大の敵だったイリア
other...
スフィールとバーサーカーはいなくなったけど、
Ah,
代わりにわけわかん
no,
ない
it's
奴が
not
出てきたし。
Bernstein. Iliasville is
Ainsburn?
what again?
Ainsburn.
Ainsburn. What happens to the rest of the family?
Well, I guess they're gonna find
Are
out
they
and just
just...
go back, right? Because the only ones that came with her are those servants of hers and Berserker.
Yes.
The rest of them are back
both
home in
that are...
Germany.
Also, they're just going to think, damn it, we lost a good one. We're going to wait a few decades and throw another one?
Pretty much, that's what they usually do. I mean,
God damn.
Ilias Veal was different, but we haven't gotten an explanation on that, so I'm not gonna spoil it. But that's what they've been doing for a while, so... I mean, all their other humans are dead. They're all robots at this point. Or, not robots, homunculi. But, whatever.
Wait, what?
They talked about it in the flashback. It's in text. They changed it to be a little poetic, but that's what they were talking about, automata.
Okay, well, I'll probably need an explanation for that later, but...
Well, yeah, you're
moving
gonna
on.
if you wanna get some context, you can rewatch the flashback in the last episode, and Heaven's Feel is gonna get into more context about it too. So.
サーバントは7人しか呼ばれないはずなのに、あいつで8人目でしょ？どう見ても既存のサーバントじゃなかったけど、シンジのやつ、どこであんなのと契約したんだ？
An eighth servant, huh? I don't think we can treat the man as a servant. He's a heroic spirit that dominates all others. He has a seemingly infinite supplies of noble phantasms. And he is a devil without any human
ギ
emotion.
ルガメッシュ。それって古代メソポタミア神話に出てくる英雄だよ
God
な。
damn, that was a quick deduction, wasn't it?
Oh, I think Shinji called him Gilgamesh. So.
Ah, okay, that makes
Eh.
more sense.
半身半人の英雄
Well, he's actually.
ウルクの
Well,
不老不
actually,
死の
he's
探求者
1 quarter human,
この世の
3
全てを
quarters
治めたとさ
god.
れる暴君だけどまさかあんなイカれたやつだったとは思わなかったわバー
That
サーカ
makes
ーを子
me
供なげに倒したこととい
feel
い
a little bit of fear
あい
of what
つ
would happen
本
if
気になって
someone
セーバーより強いかもし
just
れないわ
straight
ね
up called an actual god to this thing.
Oh, they
Because
can't.
we saw what a half god could do in the form of Berserker. We saw what a third quarter god could do in the case of Gilgamesh. What would a full god do?
Lancer is also a demigod. Fun fact.
1/4 to 1/2.
Yeah, but they can't
What
bring
is the
real
What
full
is
gods
the
into
god
the Grill War. So that's.
What
I
is
don't
the
know.
god concentration in that blood?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Gilgamesh is 75% god. Berserker was only 50%.
In fact,
I guess
these
Lancer
these
is only
demigod servants are all like they're underpowered. They remove some of their power because it's too much for the Grail to handle. It can't summon divine spirits, just like it had to
And by the way,
underpower Ryder's Pegasus because that's also a divine beast.
there are gods in
Yes.
this universe?
There are, but they're not gods in the way that the Christian God is a god. Though he's also implied
Yeah,
to exist.
but
That's a different
okay,
story.
anyway.
Tulsaka
Moving on.
doesn't sound as sharp.
I think they are good in the FGL.
Yes. We don't talk about those. It doesn't seem like it's
In the
because there's a
FGO,
new.
there's everything.
It doesn't seem like it's because there's a new enemy.
どうしたんだよトサカ。奥歯に物が挟まったような言い方だけど。
ちょっとねあいつ確かに強かったあれだけの数の宝具を持ってるんだからその力は一級品でしょけど実質はどうなのかなって私あいつとバーサーカーにそう実力差はないと感じてたんだけど
She ponders. Huh? How could it be that Tosaka doesn't know about his powers?
いや、あいつ自身はセイバーやバーサーカーと同じか、きっとそれ以下だ。そもそも英霊の強さは召喚された土地での知名度によるんだろ。ならギルガメッシュなんて英雄、こっちじゃ知ってるやつはそうはいないぞ。
His stools are strong,
それ
but
は
he
そうだけど
himself is not
知名度による実
particularly.
力の変動だってそう
Oh
大きい
yeah,
もの
he
じゃない
died
わ
with only one Excalibur, didn't he?
Yeah.
私にはどうもあの金ピカは反則めいて見えたんだけど
Ooh,
Tosaka
so
calls him by a
he's
strange
being
name.
boosted. So he's being boosted by something.
Well, with
That
that
is
aside,
probably
いや、だから反則だって。
that is probably the thing that Shinji
いや、
and
そうじゃなく
Gilgamesh were
て、
doing
きっ
away
と
from
本
the
物の
church.
元になった武器なんだ。ギルガメッシュは一番古い神話の英雄で、あらゆる贅沢を尽くした王様だったんだろ。なら各地の神話の元になった原点を所有していてもおかしくない。
And by the way, that also makes me think,
じゃあ
Zevlen,
何
Zevlen,
あいつが
would
出
you
してた宝
think
具は
that
宝具じゃなくて
Gilgamesh with
ただの武器
Shinji
ってこ
and
と
Lancer and Kotomiri would have won against Caster and her little army, or what?
I don't know. Gilgamesh is a strong guy, but we haven't seen Archer's Noble Phantasm, and Saber has some of that power boost. I mean, assuming that Saber was already fully under Caster's control, but I digress.
And we have the assassin.
We do have Assassin, which is kind of badass, but I think Gilgamesh can do quick work. Make quick work of
だろうな。
Assassin.
あいつの宝具自身は
And
きっ
Caster?
と蔵なんだ。
I don't know. Caster has some nice tools in her belt.
Again, that would be something very interesting to see. Partially because, if I recall correctly, we haven't seen multiple servant fights yet.
Yeah.
We have only seen 1v1s, never 2v2s or 3v3s.
生前にあいつが集めた財宝を収納した蔵こそがあいつの宝具なんだと思う。
Which is
そっ
busted.
か。ならバーサーカーが叶わないのも当然よね。英霊たちにはそれぞれ弱点がある。すべての宝具の原型を持つんなら、相手の弱点となるものを持ち出せばいいだけの話だもの。
That's right. If there's a chance of victory, it is that he's not a master of these weapons. He's not a wielder that has mastered his weapon to the limit. So I think there is still a way to beat him. But with all that
ま
aside,
あ登坂、本当に関係ないんだけど、なんで金ピカなんだよあいつ。
Call him
あ
Goldie.
いや、それはその髪が金色だったからとか。
何言ってんだ。
So Tosaka has
そ
a
れなら
tie.
セイバーも金ピカなんて呼んでたはずだ。
ah,
金ピカ、すごいぞ。実に意味ありげじゃんか。ここまで来て隠すなよ。登坂、なんか気づいたんだろ。
ちょっと違うってば。私のはシロみたいに真面目な話じゃないから、あんまり追求しないで。
Shiro's mind is in the right places, isn't it?
嘘つけ。
Oh
根拠も
no.
なしで金ピカなんて呼ぶもんか。ほら、白状しろよ、登坂。
Oh no.
今は一つでも。
She already
あ
she already is talking about not worrying about him. Oh no.
I stare at Tosaka. After a few seconds, she sighs as if she's given up. I love this expression, guys.
Oh yeah.
だからそれは、あいつ高価そうなのいっぱい
Oh
持っ
my
てたでしょ。
fucking god,
それで
Tosaka.
ものすごくお金持ちなんだろうなって。
And by the way, where
金ピカ
did that money come from?
あの金ピカ
is-
すっごい贅沢してそうじゃない。
Communicate divergent and the money, the church money to Gilgamesh.
No, dog. Gilgamesh has his treasury as a noble phantasm. He can just summon all the precious goodies.
Wait a minute, is gold someone's gold noble phantasm?
Oh, he has the treasury.
He's-
It's where he pulls the swords from, so he can just like summon a bunch of gold
Oh,
and
so-
shit.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense.
I think in Zero he summons like a bottle of wine or something at some point. It's interesting. Tosaka scratches her
Grail.
Tosaka scratches her cheek while looking away. How scary. It seems anyone who's rich is called Goldie by Tosaka. What's more scary is that Tosaka figured out the servant's true nature just because he seemed rich.
ともあれ、厄介なやつが出てきたものね。
Hey,
8人
Zevlen,
目のサーバントって時点で破綻してるのに、そいつ
if
自身がジ
Gilgamesh
ョーカー
has
なんだも
all the
の。
treasures, doesn't he have the Holy Grail?
Well, he has the originals of every treasure. The Holy Grail is kind of the true Holy Grail, the mythical
Wait a
item.
minute.
He can't have it
In
because,
in
according
theory,
to Christian
he was-
legend, the Holy Grail
yes, he
was
wasn't-
bathed with Jesus' blood, which must have
yes,
happened.
he was
hundreds
not
of thousands of
He
years.
was not alive.
Yeah.
He was not alive by the time the Holy Grail was made.
This
But he has
Holy
the
Grail,
rece-
this Holy Grail was constructed like 200 years ago, so there's no way he would have it. He might have had the original version of the mystical cauldron or whatever, like the origin of that myth, but it's not the same thing.
Yeah, it's pretty
It's
much
not the
useless.
same thing, but he has a.
And by the way, that makes another thing. A lot of noble phantasms that were crafted after Gilgamesh's death are probably not in his possession, right?
Oh yeah, he has the kind of prototype, or because what Nasu is trying to play with here is that all myths come from the same original foundation and the like starting group of humanity, so that everything is connected, and it's just derivations of the same story. So what he's doing here is he's implying that Gay Bolga, for example, there was an original like cursed spear that had a similar function back in Gilgamesh's time, and he has that. He doesn't have gay Bulga as it existed in Lancer's time, right? That's what he's saying. So he doesn't actually like have Excalibur. He has like the original mythological equivalent of what Excalibur is. That's kind of the idea.
Okay.
問い詰めようにも
Anyway.
監督役の綺麗は行方知れずだし。まあ、今はキャスターの方が大事だから
I love how
後回
she's
しに
like
するしかないんだ
100%
けど。
convinced that Kirei is alive.
Oh yeah, you don't see the body. You don't see the body. He's alive.
That's right. Castor is obtaining more power as we speak. Saber should not be able
Like
to
the-
oppose Castor's control much longer.
Like a good Harkonnen, Tosaka knows that you can only count someone as dead if you've seen the body.
Exactly. No. In the worst case, Saber could already be under her control.
そうだな。イリアスフィールの協力は得られなかったけど、だからといって放っておくわけにはいかない。
Because that's totally
そう
feasible.
ね。何のアイデアもないけど、やるしかないか。
With the
She's-
power of friendship.
She sighs and sits on the rubble.
まさかお城で作戦会議することになるなんてな。
It's pretty quaint. I follow Tosaka's lead and sit down. Well, we'll have a bed to sleep in here. For luck of you, might even have some magical item of Iliasville's. And the moment we let our guard down...
やめとけやめとけ。お前たち二人だけで裏をかく。
Let's go, dude!
そんなの通用するわけねえだろ。まあ、
Wait.
A stunned
What?
voice comes from the front entrance. We jump and turn the face to the speaker.
いつでも夜以来だな、お二人さん。お互いしぶとく生き残っているようで何よりだ。
ランサー。
I quickly concentrated, connect my magic circuit. You certainly Lancer.
to see Gilboga.
You speared my heart on that night 10 days ago. I can't let it happen again. I have to let Tosaka escape before he attacks.
シロ離れて。あいつは私が引きつ
Wait
け
a
るから
minute, that
その間にあんたは2階に。
Tokoto Minakiri is actually alive.
Ah.
あいつは俺が食い止める。父さんは一旦外に。
Wait a
I
minute,
love
Tokoto
that
Minakiri
They're both
is...
trying to protect each other at the same time.
あんた、自分を大切にしろってさっきの話、全然聞いてなかったみたいね。
No, no, gal. It's just that he's a simp. It's different things. Right now, another instinct is kicking in.
She lowers the hand she pointed at Lancer and points at me. But I have objections
Wait a
as
minute,
well.
wait a
忠告は聞かないって
Wait
ち
a
ゃんと
minute,
断っただろ。
that makes another thing that doesn't make a lot of sense.
あいつとは二度目だ
If
し。
Shirou,
ここ
if
は
Shirou
父さんより
saying,
俺の方が
if
向いている。
Shirou prioritizing Rin's life, it's him basically going back to his old habits. What is Rin doing by basically saying, "Run away, Shirou. I'm going to delay him."
Oh, Rin evidently loves Shiro. So that's kind of
And
what
the
she's
reverse.
phasing herself into.
And the reverse does not apply.
Well, she assumes. I don't know. It's something that happens when you're in love with somebody. You assume that they're a victim of higher powers and that they do things that are dumb because I don't know, things happen. You don't really think in that
And
dimension. She isn't
by
wrong
the
in
way,
criticizing
really-
him, but she is being hypocritical. But it's for a good reason.
Yeah, probably. And by the way, I really want to see Shiro picking some broken cloth in the floor and just
Just fucking throwing it at Lancer. That would be funny.
Just throwing at him. He start
そんなわけ
picking
ないじゃ
random
ない。
things and just
相
trace
手は
on.
歩兵よ。飛び道具がない相手に飛び道具である私が逃げてどうすんのよ。
だからこそだろ。懐に入られたらおしまいってわからないか。いいか。
I'm just
父さんは
imagining
遠くから援
Lancer
護してくれればいいんだよ。
looking at them with a little pose like, keep going.
Oh, such a
yes.
lovely couple.
バカ。
I think the thing that he says in the anime is,
あいつそんな
young
器用なん
love.
て知らないわよ。やるなら
Young
あんたごと
love.
吹っ飛ばすに決まってんじゃない。
I'm just
自
imagining
分の
him,
壊し屋っぷりを
him
開き直るな。
I'm just imagining him using a little pillar of support and just standing there with a little arm up, with a little hand sustaining his face, just looking at it saying, how cute.
大体どうしてそう何でもかんでも派手めで行こうってんだ
Oh
お前
my
は
god,
た
man.
まにはもっとつつましいことやってみろキャスターが遠坂はいらないもんって言った
Bruh.
のあんまり
Sick birds.
なんですってこの
Oh my lord.
What a sick bird,
Then we
goddamn.
argue for a few minutes. When we begin to tire and
And-
wonder how this got started.
And Lancer's still standing there.
Yeah, Lancer's just chilling, man. I noticed that Lancer is watching us with a smile.
あ、もう終わりか別に急がねえから最後ま
I
で進
fucking
めち
love
まえ。
Lancer, dude.
相手への不満は
Oh,
と
you're
ことん
done.
吐き出しといた方がいいぞ。
I
Wait
cough
a
and glare
minute.
back at Lancer.
Lancer. They did not throw everything they have at each other yet. That will be done in the. By the way, as Zevlen, are we going to see the Eroge session this time around, or
No,
are
I
we
don't
going
think
to
it-
skip?
No,
Ah,
we're
come
not
on.
seeing it. I think
Ah,
we
come
might do
on.
the Edo scenes in Heaven's Feel because they're plot relevant, but I'm not 100% on
Unlimited,
that yet.
you lucky bastard. They're going to see Sakura getting into the fourth base.
To be fair, you don't want to see Tosaka's Edo scenes. The UBW Edo scenes are the worst in the game. They're so bad. So I'm doing you a favor.
Wait a minute. There's a tier list of Eroge scenes
There
in
surely are.
Wednesday night.
There's not
Surely.
a tier list. It's because the Heaven's Feel Edo scene is
It's plot relevant. Like
has
it's
a,
actually
yeah,
important.
it's a part relevant.
How
And
exactly is it plot relevant?
you're
In the
well,
middle
you'll
of the
see.
banking. Wait a
You'll
minute, wait a
see.
minute. In the middle of the banking, Sakura's just saying, "Yes, please don't do it like my brother who
Oh my
beats me."
god.
Ah.
We're gonna get canceled on Twitter. I cough and glare back at Lancer. I take a half step forward and Tosaka is right behind me. Man, we should have done so from the start.
ああ、待て待て。せっかく同意を得たところ悪いが、こっちに戦う気はない。見るに見かねてな。
I
少し
fucking
ば
love
かり手
Lancer.
助けして
Lancer
や
is
ろう
such
と
a
出しゃばり
badass
に来
man.
たわけだ。
Holy shit. Hold on. What did he just say?
聞き違いかしら。今手助けをするって聞こえたけど。
なんだ、わかりじゃな
Hey,
いか
you need someone.
なら言い直すか。お前たち二人だけではキャスターたちには太刀打ちできん。できんだろうから俺が手を貸してやると言ったんだ。
That puts a lot of questions in
Sure
my
does.
head.
I'm stunned.
How
But
is
Tosaka
that-
quickly
how is
grasps the
that-
situation.
そう。本当に出しゃばりね、ランサー。聞くけど、それはあなたのアイデア？
いや、俺のマスターからの指示だ。キャスターたちがああなっちまった以上、一人きりの身としては協力者が欲しいんだと。
Wait a minute.
連中を潰すまでの共同
Wait a
戦線ってやつだな。
Question mark again. So Lancer's master right now is not Kotomine Kirei.
It certainly is.
So
Certainly
why
is.
he's alone? Gilgamesh is there.
No, Gilgamesh is
Yes.
Shinji's now. Well, Shinji and
But-
Gilgamesh are his puppets, but what he's trying
Yeah.
to do is throw some extra power against Castor, because Castor is in a very good position. He doesn't want to spend all
Right.
his trump cards, because if Gilgamesh is dead, he's done. Plus, he has some plans for Tosaka, as has been
Yeah,
foreshadowed
because
by
now-
Gilgamesh. So
Yeah, because now that Iliasville is dead, there is no one to be the embodiment
of the Grail.
for the Grail.
So he needs to keep a close eye on her. He also probably knows that the alliance of Lancer plus Rin plus Shirou is pretty effective. So, no. Kotomina is a strange man, but his plans make sense.
Hey,
95% of the
Tokaru,
time.
we are going to see Lancer die again. That is wonderful.
Exactly.
まっとうな理由ね。けど、それなら私たちよりもっと頼りがいのあるやつがいるでしょ。
You talking about Shinji and Gilgamesh? It seems Tosaka is trying to figure out if Lancer knows about them.
いや、あれはダメだ。とてもじゃないが性に合わん。戦力的には申し分ないが、いちいち背中の心配をするのも面
That's
倒だろ
true. Being Gilgamesh's ally seems like a one-way ticket to getting backstabbed. especially with Shinji on
Yes.
the control stick.
ふん
Shinji doesn't even do anything.
That's
Gilgamesh was pretty much
それもあな
ignoring
たの
him
マ
all
スタ
the
ーの
way.
指示ってわけ？
それも違うな。
Ah,
あんたらを選んだのは俺の趣味だ。一度面識がある分話が早いだろう。
that's so.
Okay, that makes a different question.
Yep.
Kotomine Kirei embodied Lancer with the task of go find someone to make an ally.
Yeah.
Who exactly? Did Kotomine?
Oh, he might have been
Wait.
been sent here to talk with Eliasville, to be fair.
But
Though
then he didn't know. But then he didn't know that Gilgamesh was going to kill Liliasville.
I don't know.
It
Kotomine
feels weird.
Kotomine might be doing a divide and conquer kind of situation. That might be why he enlisted Shinji.
Hey, but
In the first place.
usually your divided troops go in separate directions, not exactly into the same place.
That is true. There's also the problem of maybe Kotomine wanted to get Gilgamesh killed because he knows that Gilgamesh is a big kind of roadblock on his plan of using the Grail for himself. Because he's gonna have all that weird shit going on. I don't
Kinda
know.
not. Wait, kinda not, because in the last route, Gilgamesh and Kotomine worked without any problems.
I don't know. Well, we're gonna see as time goes on. This is going to get some extra.
Kotomine, there's a lot of things that feels weird right now. Because one, the feeling of her sea servants is kind of whack now that the children are not exactly under his power. The children in the basement.
Yeah.
Because I guess Caster now owns them.
Oh yeah. I don't know.
So I don't know. There's a lot of weird things going on with
Oh,
Kotomine's mind right
he
now.
doesn't need Gilgamesh doesn't need all the magical energy all the time. He's just running out now. He has a limit. He has a physical body. He was granted a physical body by being bathed in the Grail. He's just going to run out of energy to use magic at some point because he doesn't produce any. So it's just like Saber in the Fate route. She doesn't produce any, but she does have some that she was just kind of around with. So he doesn't have the nuclear power plant yet, but his battery is still on pretty close to full.
Anyway.
Regarding Kotomine's plan. I'm sorry?
Did you say that Gilgamesh battery is pretty close to end, something like it?
Oh, something like that.
I don't think so. He just have to summon Babylon gates. I don't think this wastes too much of his energy.
Regarding Kotomine's plan, it is accurate that we wouldn't know because we really don't have much information on it except for what Lancer has said, and Lancer might be lying about everything. So, there's that.
Anyway, moving on.
He speaks plainly. It seems that fighting Archer and driving his lance through my heart are the same thing as becoming acquaintances in his mind.
待てランサー。俺はお前に2度も殺されかかった。だっていうのに、お前の言葉を信用すると思っているのか。
思っているさ。お前の参謀はさっぱりとしたいい女だからな。そんな女が手を貸すってんだから、お前だって物好きなお人よしなんだろ。
Frown. I'm troubled that Tosaka is nodding at our enemy's word.
そういうわけだ。だから協力できるって思ったのさ。
In either case, being it Frank or not, they don't really have many options at the moment.
ああ、言っておくが、
Oh,
お
yeah.
前たちがじゃない。お前たちなら協力してやっていいとこの俺が思ったんだ。
I can't understand the difference.
Because now that I think of it, he's kind of the only one left.
Oh yeah,
That is not.
he really
that
is.
Not in. Because like Archer, Caster, Assassin, and Saber, 4 out of the 7 are in Caster's little syndicate, and on the other side we have Berserker that is dead, Gilgamesh that is
His own
running.
thing.
and him.
Yeah.
大した自信ね。協力しようって持ちかけておいて選ぶのはそっちってこと？
ああ、初見からあんたのことは気に入ってたんだぜ。美人で強情で肝が据わっていると来ている。女をマスターにするんならな、あんたみたいなのがいい。
Man knows what he likes. Lancer looks at Tosaka with cool eyes. I don't like him for some reason.
Oh no. Oh
私は
really?
賛成。けどまだ決定じゃない。エミヤ君が信用できないって言うんならこの話はなかったことにするけど。
だそうだ。どうする小僧。お前、器を試されてるぞ。
Bruh. Lancer looks at me, trying to suppress his laughter. My answer is... We have a choice. Daga kotowaru.
I don't mind.
But
I don't mind, but under one
I
condition.
think
Oh
for
boy.
some reason,
Oh
I think
boy.
if he says for one condition,
That
he would say like
was-
something.
Correct.
You can make the glance to Tosei. You can look to Tosei like this.
Are we 2 for 3 and I don't mind, but under one condition? Are we doing this?
I guess I don't have a vote anymore.
We have to accept his offer. Even if he's an enemy, he's still right. Tosaka and I can't beat Caster, but we might have a chance if Lancer's with us. But
わかった。お前の言い分は信じる。
But
け
you
ど
can
条
look
件付き
to
だ。
Tosei like that.
キャスターを倒すために手を貸してもらうし、俺たちもお前を信用する。その代わり、
その代わり、なんだ？俺のマスターを教えろってか？
違う。仲間だからって、気安く遠坂には近寄るな。
Of course.
I fucking love Shirou.
I was
Hey,
fucking right.
Hey, he's Hey, he's jealous.
Look at this.
Yo, look at his face.
God.
My
Look at
God.
his.
Most is like,
Wait a minute.
you are,
Zevlen,
man.
Zevlen, please show their faces again. This should be the thumbnail.
Look at this dude. Oh my God.
This should be
man.
the thumbnail.
Oh my God.
We lost lesser points.
なるほどなるほど。そりゃそうだ。俺のマスターなんぞよりそっちの方が何倍も重要だよな、坊主。
The dude.
Of course
the
it
dude-
is.
He
the-
starts
wait a
laughing
minute, let's
heartily.
just- Let's just realize that
Tosaka
if
wa yaranai
either
kara.
Lancer is really mocking Shirou or Lancer was really pissed by that.
He's
Oh my
pissed. He's
God.
clear pissed.
Yes.
まさか悪くなんかね。むしろ見直したところだ。
Tosaka's losing all of his shit right now.
いや、いいね、お嬢ちゃん。坊主、あんたにぞっこんじゃないか。
Oh my God. Lancer is
Wait
like,
a minute, please. Let's
I
analyze
would
the
do the
situation. Let's analyze the situation.
Show us the image again. Thank you.
Because one, let's just realize Lancer has been thoroughly outplayed.
no,
He's
yeah,
been
no bluff he
played.
could ever have come up with would outplay this.
Lancer wants to kill Emilia right now.
Oh,
And he
Tosaka
lost.
is losing it.
No, Lancer lost. Lancer's pretty much conceding. Okay, man, you got her, you won. Okay, screw you.
Well, how he was prepared for this to be like a super serious. Oh, you want to do a deal with the devil? He's like, yeah, just don't touch my
Oh, yeah.
girlfriend. Don't touch my
he was like,
girlfriend.
And he was like, damn it.
No, he's not even
that's
upset.
fine.
He's just like, this is hilarious, man.
No,
As
I would
if
argue
as
he's a
if
little bit
Lancer was going to
upset.
do
I
anything
would-
with Tosaka, which is
No, I would argue that he's a little upset because he was pretty much eyeing that girl. I would
Nah,
argue that he's
nah.
lying a bit.
No, he's joking. Lancer isn't like that. Lancer, he's just a big jokester. He wasn't seriously trying to do anything.
And
with
by the
Tosaka.
way, what is going on in Tosaka's head?
Oh, you definitely know what's going on with this look.
I want an elaboration, please.
何言ってんのよあんた。私とシロはそ
There
ん
is
なんじゃないわよ。
collaboration.
その
I'm just friends, okay?
Okay, how much until the interrogation?
そうか？
なんかムカつくわねあんた。何よその見透かしたような顔は。
Was this the right
シロも
choice?
なんか言いなさいよ。私たちはただの協力関係だって。
No. 断る。だが断る。
言いなさいよバカ。
だから断る。
これじゃ
Oh
本当
my
に
god.
その私たちが好き合って
Tosuke, I think we have some bad news.
Girl.
だから、
Girl.
本当も何もとっくに出来上がってんだ
I
よ、お
love
前たち。傍から見てる俺でさえわかるのに、当の
Yeah,
本人
man,
た
we're
ち
in
が
a
ごま
tough
かしてるから
spot.
な。はあ
No. Lancer is because she's the tsundere. It's her little thing.
Lancer makes a sympathetic
う
gesture.
ん遠坂が大変なのは
Oh, no.
I like how Shirou ignores
God, I love this.
completely.
I
Shirou
fucking
ignores.
love this.
Shirou ignores completely Tosaka. He's like, I don't care what she said before. I'm just going to address Lancer. Yes, she's troublesome, man, but she's good. She's good.
I dismiss his
Tosuke.
sympathy with a sour look.
Tosuke says,
おう、そりゃ頼もしい。んじゃ俺もそれなりに気を使ってジョーちゃんと
Thank
付き
you,
合おう。
Lancer.
だがまあ、からかうと面白いジョーちゃんなんだな。道中楽しませてはもらうぜ。
It's gonna be payback for all that time she was teasing us.
分かった。その線でいこう。マスターを倒すまであなたの力を借りる。
it's so funny that Shiro is so serious.
I like how now
Everyone is
Shiro
like,
doesn't-
what the fuck's going
I
on?
like
Why?
I like how Shiro doesn't even give a damn about Lancer's master. He's just
No,
"Oh,
no, he
yeah,
doesn't
stay
give a
with my
fuck. He's just
girl."
like, don't touch Tosuke.
No. I love that everyone is like, Lancer is, what the fuck you are thinking? Why are you saying this right now? And Tosuke
I
is
like
just
how
losing
Lancer-
everything.
Lancer.
And enemy hero is just,
Emiya is
Hey.
100% serious. Like, he's like 1,000% in on this. It's incredible.
I like how he's pretty much. God damn it.
Lancer walks to me unarmed and shakes my hand. There are worrying factors, but we're able to obtain a reliable ally. All that's left is,
このカッタが来た。いいわよ。あんたたちなんてこっちから願い下げよう。こうなったら私一人でキャスターをとっちめるんだから。
Okay, she went full tsundere.
how can I calm her down?
A kiss would be good right now. A kiss. An eroge scene.
No.
everything
We
that
walked
woman
through-
wants.
we walked through the dark.
Everything.
I'm very happy that you guys picked that
Man.
option. That was a fantastic choice.
Yeah,
Just a
that was a bad.
minute.
And I was right. I said that you would make something like it.
Unlimited. We are starting to get into the time of. Firstly, we should probably leave the session. We should probably start finishing up things right now. And second, we are starting to get close to the end of this part. We should get the eroge scene somewhere.
Man,
No,
this
I think
this
this is
wasn't.
the 14th or the 15th. We are coming close to the end. I think there's 2 days left or something after this, but they're
But-
pretty long.
Yeah, man.
So,
Anyway, we should probably wrap things up right now.
yeah. I don't know. There's another half hour left.
What a-
So if you can't do that, then
I didn't know. I can't. Gonna be honest with you, I can't.
okay, man. Bruh. Bruh.
But hey, this was a satisfying note to end things on.
To say the
Certainly.
truth, we stopped in a good part.
We did. It's better that we stop here than if we stop in the middle of what's coming next, because that shit is too good to interrupt halfway through. So,
I don't think it's better than what we have seen just
yeah.
now.
But man, seeing Lancer pretty much starting to spectate this couple.
I love how they don't have
Going
Shinji as
to-
his master here. That's kind of funny.
Everything is so ironic.
Everything is great. I fucking love this. Oh man,
Man.
yeah. Can't wait for the next episode of the Reading Club to come out 3 months from now.
Zevlen, I
Yeah?
just want to say one thing before you end this video. Maybe I'm starting to understand why Tosuke is the best hero.
Oh,
Damn.
oh, blessed.
He's developing decent taste. God
Let's
damn.
go, dude.
Let's
The
go,
best,
let's
the
go.
best,
Getting out
the
of-
best timeline.
He's getting out of the trash can. Wow.
The most blessed timeline. And with that, we close it off.
Bye.
Can't wait for the next episode to come out in 3 months. So hope to see you then.
In 3 months.
I find it very sad that we were not capable of sending this episode on April Fools, but
Yeah, it's worth it.